Every day I get a lot of stories, but one city keeps rising to the top of criminality and buffoonery. That is the Washington, D.C. DMV area. And for those of you who don't know what the DMV means, it's D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. And every day I keep getting stories, crime after crime after crime after crime. Pookie after Pookie after Pookie, and Ray Ray after Ray Ray after Ray Ray. And so it was so many stories, I said, you know what? The hell with it. Let me just cover all of them in one. Now, let me just talk about today's subject. Today, we're dealing with crime, not unlike Southeast DC. No, all of these crimes covered today in the DMV occur in areas in which people who are affluent would live. That means they don't want to live in the inner city, so they're moving to places like Wheaton, Maryland. But unfortunately, things are happening. Let's talk about what happened with this particular lady. Now, there was a lady who basically was there trying to get her gas in the car. Unfortunately, this happened.
And up top here at 6 on this Friday, a carjacking victim is speaking with us just hours after her vehicle was stolen in less than 10 seconds.
So it happened at a Giant gas station in Chevy Chase. The suspect got away. Fox 5's Tisha Lewis joining us live from Chevy Chase with more. Tisha.
And just moments ago, we spoke with the victim of that carjacking. She saw us reporting about the incident and approached us with her daughter, telling us about the scary moments as she was here at this gas station. In fact, she was at that gas pump in particular, and she said she was putting in her payment information along with her phone number. She says it all happened in about 5 seconds. In fact, Tracy Boyd says she never even pulled out the pump. She also says the suspect is a black male who was wearing a white face mask at the time of the encounter. It all took place around 1:30. She says when she looked back after putting in her phone number, her car was gone along with a sedan that was following behind it. The victim says that she's been in touch with police and the gas station attendant who is still here. By all accounts, everyone is just thankful there were no injuries, including the victim.
The policeman did remind me. He said, look, you're fine. He said, you're fine. Everything else can be replaced, whatever. I guess, and even a car. And I said, you're right. You're right. And and no one was hurt. I'm not hurt. I am good. There's worse things happening to people than that. But it's still very jarring. I'm just on edge. I have the biggest knots in my stomach, but I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay.
Tracy Boyd telling us that her pocketbook, her wallet, her personal identifying information was also inside the car. So obviously she is very concerned. The door to the convenience store now locked for safety purposes here at the Giant gas station. Again, this all unfolded at 8500 Connecticut Avenue near Chevy Chase Lake Drive, across the street from another gas station and also residential areas. Now, we have reached out to Montgomery County Police about some specifics concerning this carjacking. We are still waiting to hear back. It's important to note that not only is this across the street from another gas station, it's also just up the street from the Beltway, so it's likely that the suspect is long gone, though police are looking for information to help find that person. Back to you.
So guys, the victim is Tracy Boyd, and the city that she's in is Chevy Chase, Maryland. Shout out to Chevy Chase. I used to go to the Cheesecake Factory when I lived there in DC so many years ago. And Chevy Chase, Maryland is an exclusive place. It's very expensive there. It's not the hood. It's not the projects. But yet, somebody is trying to steal her Range Rover while she's at the pump. But guess what? It gets even worse. There's another story about this guy who, let's just say for an example, he broke into this house, right? And found the burglar in there using his toothbrush, razor, and shower gel. Let's play that.
New tonight and staying in Montgomery County, a man there is looking for answers after a man broke into his house recently.
Yeah, not only stealing things, but lounging around, using his toothbrush, razor, and shower.
Yeah, DC News Now's Daniel Hamburg took a trip to the man's Germantown home to take a look at what's missing.
There's a lot of crime in Germantown, a lot. It didn't used to be like this.
Roger Moran didn't expect to be the victim of a home burglary, but when he came home last month, he noticed things missing and out of place.
And these taller items were put here and the window was closed. And I'm thinking, that's strange, because I didn't do that. And I turned around, and the window air conditioner that usually is in this window was on the floor.
In his bedroom, he had watches, hunting knives, and clothing missing.
He hung out in the bed, and over there was littered with Coca-Cola cans, bottled water, protein shakes, energy drinks. You know, there was like 6 of them. So he'd been here for some time.
In his bed, when police got there, he found a man's underwear and coat in a heap.
He lit some candles as he relaxed in my bed.
Probably the grossest part of this burglary happened back here in the bathroom. Moran says the man likely came in here, used his toothbrush because he found it right here on the soap dish. He found a hairbrush in there, long black hair in the drain, and over here he found whiskers and shaving cream in the sink. Not to mention that the toilet was not flushed.
Moran says police were able to get some good fingerprints around the house.
We all agree he was probably homeless. He's probably transient, moving from here to there, and he went from here and he was, you know, seen down in Rockville, so maybe he's moving in that direction.
Rockville is where police found his laptop behind a dumpster and hunting knives in the bag. But one thing he's most upset about is one of his high-end bicycles that was stolen.
I ride in the Great Cycle Challenge, which is to raise money for childhood cancer. And that's what the bike was for, you know. It was the bike that I rode hundreds of miles on.
In all, the burglar got away with $10,000 to $12,000 worth of things.
The things he stole were material things, you know. I didn't get hurt. None of my loved ones, you know, my girlfriend didn't come over in the middle of the day and find him here and have him hit her on the head with a baseball bat.
While he counts himself lucky no one was hurt, he's still wondering who did this and why. In Germantown, Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
But the buffoonery even gets worse, guys. Here you have an elderly woman who was trying to load groceries into her car in Wheaton, Maryland, when Pookies and Ray Rays pushed her down, robbed her, and just took her car. Let's play that clip.
Montgomery County Police say that an elderly woman was pushed down and robbed today in Wheaton while trying to load groceries into her car. The area has seen other recent violent crime as well.
Fox 5's Josh Rosenthal live in Bethesda tonight with reaction from residents say who they are concerned.
Yeah, Marina, Angie, of course, crime is always concerning, but this incident happened to an elderly person in broad daylight, middle of the day, the afternoon, in a very public place. It's got a lot of people nearby, live nearby, sounding like this.
I've never heard of shootings or robberies in Wheaton like this, never. I feel concerned because I'm an older woman and I come here a lot.
Police say today's victim was pushed down and robbed of her purse at 1:40 this afternoon. It happened at the Giant Food Store in the 2900 block of University Boulevard West in Wheaton. The store is part of the Westfield Wheaton Mall. We're told the woman was not injured, thankfully. Meanwhile, police say the suspect left the scene in a car and got away. It's not the only recent incident in this area. Just this past weekend, we told you about the arrest of convicted sex offender Monterey Horn. He's accused of several violent crimes in D.C. and Maryland, including multiple attempted carjackings and shooting a woman in the face near the Wheaton Mall on Saturday. Here's more of what we heard from residents earlier today.
We are not secure in here. People around walking, we are not secure.
You're concerned for your safety?
Yeah. I just feel like I want to live my life, and I don't want that to stand in my way of just enjoying the neighborhood. I don't think it's enough to make me change what I'm doing.
Montgomery County Police tell us that they have added extra patrol officers to the Wheaton Mall area as a way of adding a little bit more of a visual presence. They said we also reached out to Giant Food for comment. A spokesperson declined, citing the ongoing investigation. Guys.
You see, guys, all of this is pretty much, I would have to say, the fault, not of just Washington, D.C. itself and its nearby areas. And we know that D.C. has nothing but African-American mayors. But see, the criminality that started in D.C. is now coming out to these other places because you have, guess what? No families. Not many fathers. And despite DC being one of the most unique cities in the country with a huge GDP, a lot of the military operates from DC. You have a lot of universities in DC, in Maryland area, a lot of jobs, a lot of great paying jobs. In fact, a lot of African-American elites are in the DC, Maryland area that started working, some of them from the government. So DC has opportunities in its city that are not really anywhere else. But despite the fact that all the opportunities available in DC, the crime is getting out of control in the DMV area. And guess what? What can you blame? Well, many things, but one of the things for sure, liberal policies, unaccountability, and absolute buffoonery. And now people who are paying millions of dollars for their houses don't even feel safe to live there. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell. We're out.